Welcome to Search for Signs. My name is Gary Willing and I'll be your host. We're going to be talking about a wide range of issues on this program, and if these things interest you, please press the like button and subscribe and press the bell for notifications. The first experience I want to tell you about is one of the more dramatic ones I've had in my life, and it's how a payphone, a KFC, and an autograph changed my life. Now, to tell you this story, I have to give you a little bit of a background on myself. I used to play bass guitar professionally. Back in the early and mid 90s, I used to play full time. And the story goes, I stumbled across a music gig. It was a touring gig that with a band called the 3 Degrees. The 3 Degrees were a 70s R&B group out of Philadelphia. And I was the background bass player for them. And we toured in Japan, we toured Osaka, Fukuoka, and Nagoya. And about halfway through Osaka, I think, people started asking me for my autograph backstage. Now at the time, I was young, kind of cocky, and I remember thinking to myself, wow, I'm actually getting kind of famous, man. People are asking me for my autograph. The older I get now, I kind of look back on it. The Japanese people are so polite. I was kind of standing around and they wanted to ask the singers for their autograph because they were the stars and they didn't want to make me feel left out, so they asked me for my autograph too. So it wasn't quite like I was getting famous that caused them to ask me for my autograph. It was just their politeness. But I noticed that a lot of people didn't speak English over there, and I wanted to relay a positive message. So what I did is I signed my name with a peace, heart, and a happy face. And then I signed my name. And here's an image of what it looks like when I sign my name. I know the graphics aren't perfect. My graphic design artist is off for the day. But that's how it looked when I signed it. So you could barely even make out the name Gary on it, which is important because I want to emphasize that. So for the rest of the tour, I would sign my name with a peace, heart, and a happy face and sign my name. And didn't think much of it. And when I got back to the States, I didn't tell anybody that I might have told some people that I signed an autograph, but I didn't tell them that I signed it with a peace, heart, and a happy face. Then about a month or so later, I was still trying to find work as a bass player. I was trying to find a day job to kind of make ends meet. And I was just gotten off this tour that was really exciting. So I was kind of, down in the dumps a little bit. I didn't know Atlanta as well as I do now, but I was supposed to meet somebody way over off of what's called Canton Road, and I went up through Marietta and trying to get to where I was supposed to meet him there, and I was running late, and I pulled into this KFC, and then they call it the Big Chicken. It's got a big wooden chicken out front with a beak that moves and the eyes that move. It's kind of a local landmark here in Marietta. But where I was supposed to meet my friend was probably about 5 or 10 minutes away. So it was a good ways away. And I stopped into this Big Chicken to make a call, but they were renovating it at the time. So I went to the next payphone I could see, which was this, it's a muffler shop now, but it used to be a tiny little gas station. And I dropped a quarter in to make the call to call my friend that I would be late. And I started looking at graffiti on the phone. I actually like graffiti art. I'm an artist, but I love graffiti art as a whole. But anyway, I looked at it, and kind of to the left of the phone, written on the pedestal or the housing of the pedestal it was written in black magic marker like all the other graffiti. And it said, "To Gary." There was a heart sign, a peace, and a happy face. It said, "Still alive and well." There was a cross with these two little lines kind of running diagonal from it, and it was signed the Christ. Now, when I saw it, I didn't think much of it. Actually, I just said to myself, who's Gary? I remember thinking that, who's Gary? And then I started thinking to myself, wow, he signs his name just like I did in Japan. And then I kind of talked to my friend and left. Because I didn't know anything about miracles. I didn't know anything about who Maitreya was or Benjamin Creme at the time. It wasn't until about 6 months later that I came across a book by Benjamin Creme at a bookstore, which, funny enough, I hated it the first time I read it. I actually read it for about a week and couldn't stand it. I didn't like it for whatever reason. And I remember putting the receipt back in the book. I was going to take it back to the bookstore and try to get a new book, but then I was bored one night. I guess that there was nothing on TV, and I picked it up again and started reading it, and it literally changed my life. But so, I always say this about this particular experience because I wasn't looking for any miracles, and it just happened. The timing was perfect because it changed my life, but at the same time, it wasn't like I was out scouring the world looking for signs or miracles or anything like that. It just kind of came my way. But there's really no doubt that whoever put that there, I think it was Maitreya, but whoever put that there, I mean, how would they have known that I signed my name like that on the other side of the planet? And especially since I didn't hardly know anybody in Atlanta at the time, and I didn't tell anybody that I signed my name with a peace and a heart and a happy face. But thank you for letting me share this experience with you, and I look forward to talking to you in the next video.